There's many reasons why we guitar player picked up bass as our secondary instrument. First of all, for producing and writing music, because it's easier than guitar.
Man, shut your bitch ass!
Or like myself, because I need more work as a gig musician. And these are a few steps that will help you do it. First thing first, don't be delusional. If you cannot play with finger, play with a pick.
That's illegal.
We do not care.
Devi, it's legal. Let me tell you in Italian, because I'm Italian too. Hai rotto il cazzo con sto meme, si sta scherzando, stai tranquillo, ok? But that's something to consider. Don't try to use your usual pick. Most players tend to use hard and tiny pick, like a jazz tree. And this won't translate well on bass, to be honest. And also, because it's too hard, it won't absorb the impact on the string, and that can cause micro trauma in your thumb, especially if you play harder style of music, like rock and heavy metal. What I suggest you to do is try to use a softer and wider pick. This is a Tortex from Dunlop. I think it's 0.73 millimeter, and this will sound like a bass player play with a pick. Okay, so it's more comfortable, but also by being slightly softer than a jazz tree, as an example, it will absorb the impact on the string, and that can keep you healthy along the way. And also, in a way, it will apply a sort of a natural compression to your sound, because after a certain point, by being so softer, it will start to bend even more. Let me explain. I know through camera it won't translate so well, but let me try. I hope that you got the point. This is a little bit counterintuitive, I know, but don't be afraid of bringing your own guitar player-ness into the bass world, okay? But first, keep it just for your music and your production. If you want to get into gigs, try to think as much as you can as a bass player for the first time, okay? And how can we do it? By simply plugging our bass into our rig. And if you use a real amp and cab, be careful with the volume, because you can really fuck everything up. So if you have a modeler or some VST bass stuff, it's better if you try with those, so you can be safe, okay? These are a few of my go-to presets for guitar, so let me show you how they will sound on bass, as an example. This is my typical clean, reverb, delay, and a little bit of chorus, okay? And it sounds like this. Something like that. What I like to do is using distortion with both octave up and octave down. Okay, so let's see how they sound on bass really quickly. And this is not a universal rule, but 90% of time in music, the bass has more of a fundamental rhythmic role. Instead, guitar is more of a melodic, harmonic, or even a lead instrument. Try to reverse it, okay? So here's an experiment that I made a couple of months ago. I tried to sound like Van Halen played bass. So I made a patch that reminds me of the Van Halen sound for guitar, and I plugged into my bass. And this is the result. try different things, experiment. Music is a really enormous spectrum, so you need to try different things to find your own true voice, in my opinion. Now, if you want to explore fingering, this is the right way to do. It is not a free stroke like this, although you can use it sometimes if you need to play chords and stuff, but it's more like I need to get through the string and rest the finger on the string above it, like this. Let me show you real quickly. This is what I'm telling you, okay, like this. I'm plucking and I'm resting on the string above it, like this. Not like this, even though for chords it worked perfectly, but like this. And then one of the rules is to keep your wrist as straight as possible. No matter where I am at on the neck, I always keep my wrist straight. And you can do it by simply, if you play sitting down or standing up, pulling the neck away from you, okay, like this, at about 45-degree angle or something. That will keep your wrist naturally straight, okay? And then watch my finger while I'm playing. There's two things to notice here. I'm keeping my finger as straight as possible too, okay? So I can mute the string even better, because there's no need 99% of time to let other string ring, because on bass they sound like shit. Okay, so I don't need to keep them curved like that. I can simply make it straighter like this. And also I was primarily using only the index and the pinky, so get your pinky right. Really, for most of things you will end up playing with just these two things. Slap, fast line, no matter what. Of course, if you need to practice scale, you will end up using every finger almost, but the main foundation are these two fingers, okay? And then something that really makes the difference between a guitar player playing bass and a bass player playing bass. Watch how I'm playing this riff. The first time I was playing like a guitar player, so I was only fretting notes. Instead, the second time I was using even open notes, something that is really good to do on bass, because they are richer in harmonic content and especially in low end, the place of the bass, okay? Let me show you another riff from a famous song here in Italy, Penso Positivo. The first time I was playing again like a guitar player, so I was jumping up and down the neck, something that is not so smart to do, because you will end up using more stamina, more strength, and after 5 minutes of the riff, your finger will get on fire. Instead, one of my bass friends taught me to play like this. Same riff, but less movement, so I will save a lot of energy for the whole gig. And now a little consideration: take things slowly. This is a massive, big, heavy instrument to play, so you will need more energy, more stamina, and you need to develop new movement and new muscle, especially in these two fingers, something that you never done on guitar if you really think about it. So take your time, 30 minutes of practice, 5 to 10 minute break, and then after 30, and then again another 30 minutes of practice. Take your time, don't rush, you really can hurt yourself a lot, and pretty badly, to be honest. My name is Gianluca, I'm a guitar player, singer-songwriter from Italy, and I hope these few steps can really help you learning how to approach bass. If you need lesson, go to a real bass player. I am a guitar player that play bass, but I know one of two things because I really gig a lot as a bass player. Every week I explore sounds and boundaries of music here on YouTube, so if you like this kind of shit, subscribe to the channel, you have no excuse, and until next time, remember, you're lucky, my man.